Hey guys, thanks for hanging in there. Welcome to another episode of me bolting shit on my car. So today we're going to cover something that's near and dear to my heart, the man pedal. We're going to be doing the clutch pedal, well, the associated hardware. I already bolted that little boy in there, and well, it's pretty simple. You just take the old pedal out and put the new one on there. So that's there. I wanted the hydraulic clutch for this. Now I'm going with a TKX transmission. Um, Normally in the past I ran a T56 because, T56, 6 speed, it's all big and beefy and you take all the things, and I've beat the crap out of them and they still manage to manage. But this one, I didn't want to cut the transmission tunnel. It's very small on these A-body cars. So I didn't know what the heck I was going to do, if I was going to try to hope a T5 was going to survive. That rhymes. But Tremec, I think it is, made the TKX transmission, and surprisingly enough, it's made just for Chevelles. Well, the case was designed to fit in the transmission tunnel of a Chevelle because it's tiny. So I figured I don't need the extra gear. 2 overdrives, I'm only going to have 1. I don't need 2. But anyway, went with the 5-speed. Hopefully that'll be enough to get me in trouble, and wanted the hydraulic clutch, and I wanted a hydraulic clutch for that. And then the press, I just did, factory Camaro LS1 stuff. So you had the, Rock Auto get you the throwout bearing and the master cylinder and all that stuff, and it just bolts in. You just get a little bracket. That's not a thing with these. The TKX isn't factory application, and there's a whole bunch of aftermarket throwout bearings that may or may not work. Yeah, I've heard good things and bad things about different ones from some friends, and I went and finally just settled on me a kit that had it all in one because I don't want to mess with all that. So this is, show you what I got here. Silver Sport Transmissions brings you Perfect Fit. It's like the first time on prom night. No, so it's Perfect Fit hydraulic clutch kits. It comes with all of the things you need to bolt, throwout bearing to the TKX. Has this little bearing adapter doodad and a factory-ish looking bearing, which is great, like that. And then for, getting the right geometry on the firewall here, gives you a little firewall plate. It's going to locate it probably this way, and it locates off of existing holes. So when you're trying to do things, it'll go, how does this work? Well, this is designed to locate off the factory holes there, and it'll give you your geometry you need. Plus, for your adjustment, depending on what throwout bearing and things you're using, got this little doodabber. Get you in there, and a bunch of brackets to set that up. And nice little reservoir. I'm not French. I do eat their toast though. And a braid line. It looks like a little speed bleed on there. That's cool. So this is supposed to be able to take the factory pedal you got, or if you do like I did and get the little combo pedal off of James, and these bolts right in there. I'm assuming somewhere off of this little guy. There you go. Down the hole. Somewhere off of this little guy, this is going to go. And I have the column in place up here, and I'm just doing mock-up and things. But I don't know if you can see that. I just got the left side here bracket, kind of locating that. So I'm going to use that as a template here. And I'm going to bolt this little bracket up. And this is going to tell me where I need to make my hole in the plate. And I'm going to have to drill these out to go in there also. But as you can see, it's well, you can probably tell right there. It used to be a column shift variety. You can see in between there, has a little nub on it. It was a column shift. Took that out, cut that piece off, and it has the column shift. I don't know what that is. Locating plate, bottom retaining plate. It has the column shift things. So I'm going to take this apart, hold it up, mark it, cut that piece out. I'll bring you back in. bring you into the workbench here. Yeah, use a trash can. It goes everywhere. So this plate sits like this in the column. I'm sorry, in the firewall where the column locates. So on this side of it's going to be your bracket. So I just bolted that with some 1/4 bolts real quick just to get its location lined up and solid. That's going to be what I'm going to remove. Let's do it. Oh, can't get much better than that. Just inside my line. There you go. That's perfect. Got these holes drilled out. Bracket cut. Got the master sitting in there. Next step it mentions is trimming this little lip here so it sits flush. See, it doesn't get all the way up on there. So I think I'm going to cut it. I marked it here on the sides where the edge is. I'm going to cut that and then see if I can hammer and dolly this down a little bit. That might still be in the way of things. I don't know. Maybe I can just flat wheel that thing out of there. We'll see. But I'm going to get rid of that. Be right back. Alright, so I got this lip taken down. Just used a little flap wheel. Got that. Took a little bit off the nuts there so that the squishy seal part, you can call it that, the seal. So it's nice and smooth on there. So the next step for that is to bolt it up. I put a little bit of spray paint on there. So we'll move on to the next step while that dries, which is fitting the pedal. I have to remove the pedal hanger bracket to modify, blah, 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 blah. So it looks like some more cutting and grinding. So we'll pull that out and see what I got going on. You can see my pedal bracket. I didn't really cover that earlier because it's pretty simple, but I sandblasted that and painted it up. It's brand new. A little scratched up from putting it in there. Anyway, took that back out because it's not bolted in. Just came right off. Now I'm supposed to take this, cut out the areas that are marked. So I think first I'm going to do some arts and crafts here. I can find my skizzers. I'm going to cut the template out. It'll make it a lot easier to hold this thing up. That's probably the part I hate most about working in my garage is I'm left-handed and I don't have any left-handed scissors. All right. Well, forgot to cut the little holes out. Do that real fast so I can locate this thing. It's kind of cool that this direct fit kit gives you all of the things. So that's probably where it gets its name from. Perfect fit. Well, if it's not me doing it. All right, this little guy out of here. You can see what I'm doing here. Okay, I need to cut. That don't look like mine. Interesting. Oh, because that doesn't go that way. Goes this way. All right. Well, they want me to do bendy things. All right. Do the bendy things. Don't do what I did and almost cut the wrong side out. Read them instructions. All right. I'll do the bendy thing. Trim out this little red piece and then I'll mark it. I'll bring you back. Okay, arts and crafts over. did the bendy stuff. This little guy's going to sit on here like that. Go ahead and stick a whatnot in there. I don't know how I got kids. I'm having problems with this hole. All right. This will get right there. Get in the hole. Goodness. All right, that's going to hold that. It seems a little off on where my guy's at. My guy. Okay, so you want this guy right there. I'll go ahead and mark him. Right there. We'll mark him right there. And that's just going to follow that line right across here. And they want to meet around this little nub out. There we go. That's my cut area. Be too hard to do. Make you look like that. Cut this out and I'll bring you back. You can see I cut it out, deburred the edges, and got some paint on it right now. That's the clearance we need for the next step, which I'm going to show you now. All right, next step it calls for, we're going to put this bracket on the pedal so that your linkage can be offset and have the right stroke. Now, if you do what I did, and look at this hole here, and look at this hole here, and be like, that's, pretty close to being in the right spot. And you're like, I'm going to go mock this up in the car. Well, the car, when it's sitting in there, that linkage looks dead straight into that master. And what you're worried about is that if the rod goes in weird, it'll dig into those or wear those seals out, and you can have premature wear on your master. So you look at it, and it looks like it's straight in there. And you're like, man, I'll probably just go with this instead of the bracket because this is a straighter angle. Because it says in here a couple different times, make sure it's straight as it comes in and out and blah, 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 like you're supposed to do. But then when you go on the other side of the car, you can see that the master already has that angle. It's canted over some, which means that, the company spent the extra money to R&D and include this bracket because you need it. It pushes this over when you get it mocked up, and it has perfectly in line with that master in there. So drill the holes and put it on there, damn it. Okay, don't be an idiot like me and try to take the easy way out. So your bracket sits on there. You can see by these two pictures the orientation. It goes on the inside of the pedal. I have a Jegs pedal, so I only have one hole. So I'm going to use that hole, bring this little guy all the way up till it hits, bam! And then I'm just gonna fire a little hole in there and mark it with this little guy. And drill the hole. I'll be right back. And once your hole gets drilled, put your bracket on there. This shows the bolt heads are on this side, nuts are on that side, I'm assuming because of the height difference. So we'll go ahead and toss that in the car. All right. So you can see here's the pedal, here's the bracket. This is my little extendo piece they gave you. And on the other end of that was your little rod end. So we're going to put this rod end in here. I can find it. Camera's right where my eye hole would be, so I'm using the camera as my eye hole. This ought to be fun. Hope you guys can excuse the tornado winds out here. We're not in a watch yet, but it's supposed to be here soon. So all my stuff don't blow away. All Alright, we're going to get that started on there. And bring the pedal up to where the full height would be. That's the pedal arm hitting the top of the bracket. Now, they gave you this cool little spacer in here in this kit. Offset just a little bit to the side. We're going to run this bolt through. Put the spacer on the side there. Hopefully, line this guy up. Now these are not reverse threads on this. You've done the suspension stuff where you expect you could twist the center, and one way makes this longer, one way makes it shorter because they're both reverse thread. It's not like that, so it's got to keep in mind where your adjustment's at. Let's get as close, I think. Don't want barely any threads on one side and none on the other side. So that gets me almost all the way to the top. That's probably pretty good for where we're going to start at. You be like every single guy and try to find that nut. Where I put that little guy. Let's see if that one fits. Oh. All right, well, we'll find that. I'll put it on. Anyways, let's see how your pedal assembly is going to be all the way up. My height's about just a little bit above the brake pedal, and we can play with that because it's a threaded rod, so that's helpful. But the key thing is, see if I can get you right in here. It's like a straight shot to that master cylinder. Take out this bracket here. It is straight shot down. See how that pedal or that linkage is in line with the master. If you look at my brackets and everything, nothing's going to make contact. This is just loosely on here. I could probably cinch that up because it's closer than I'd like. But everything's on there. Wired out and looking good. So this will be the pedal side. My transmission is still en route. So when that gets here, I can start doing the other portions, which is setting the clutch depths and whatnot. Or no clutch depths. Can't word today. The next portion, I guess I can do the fluid reservoir. Yeah, the next portion is when you set your bell housing up in the slave cylinder. Start taking all your measurements for your little offsets, spacers if you need it. So I went with this kit because can't find the box anywhere. Because it uses an almost OEM bearing, which I like. Thinking this is like the F bodies, pretty close to it. And then it comes with this little adapter job, which, takes place of that little piece on the front. Bolts right up to the TKX or TKO, depending on which one you got. And this little guy indexed off of here and just and do things. Makes it real simple to adjust and set up. So hopefully with this all being a kit, everything works together. They even give you the little rubber boot that goes over where the clutch fork would be sticking out, and then it seals against your line here. So that's kind of cool. The master cylinder reservoir bracket try. Try to put that on, I guess. Anyway, stay tuned for the next step.